Ever get that feeling? Like life's winding up for a curveball. You know, you're coasting along, everything's going great, and then bam! Totally out of left field. Something throws you off balance.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's your job changing suddenly, or a relationship that hits a snag,
Yeah.
or even something big, global that just shakes everything up.
Right, right.
Well, that's kind of what we're diving into today. This lesson plan I found, it really made me think about how we handle those curveballs.
Interesting.
And it all started with this quote by someone called Coach Zebu. They have these morning thought messages, and this one just asked, "Are you ready?"
Are you ready? Okay.
We'll get to the whole quote later, but even that short question, it really stuck with me. Like, it's a challenge, to look at how prepared we really are for whatever life throws at us.
I like that.
And that's where this lesson plan comes in. It's all about building that readiness, that resilience. What's cool is it's for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've already been through a ton of ups and downs.
Yeah, makes sense.
So before we unpack all the wisdom in this thing, I want to throw that question back at you. Are you ready? Seriously, think about it for a sec. What does being ready even mean, right now at this point in your life?
Yeah, good question.
One of the things that really jumped out at me in this plan was how much it focuses on facing discomfort.
Discomfort, huh?
There's this line that just hits you. The comfort zone becomes a war zone when we're forced to deal with the unexpected.
Oh, wow, that's powerful.
Right. Talk about a wake-up call.
Yeah, definitely.
And it gets better.
Mm.
There's this self-audit activity where you actually list out all the areas of your life where you're comfortable right now.
Uh-huh.
Then you have to imagine those areas getting shaken up. Kind of puts things in perspective, right?
Oh, yeah.
What I think is so insightful about that is it forces you to confront this idea that comfort, a lot of times, it's an illusion.
Yeah.
We all want things to be stable, predictable, but life just isn't like that, is it?
Not at all.
It's unpredictable. And when those disruptions happen, because they always do, our first reaction is usually fear or anxiety.
Right, that makes sense.
But here's the thing, and this is where it gets interesting. That discomfort, as much as we try to avoid it, it's actually where growth comes from.
Okay.
When our comfort zones are challenged, we have to adapt, learn new things, see things from different angles.
Let's see.
It's those moments when we're like, uh-oh, what now? That we find strength we didn't know we had and figure out how to deal with things.
So true. It's like that saying, right? Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
Exactly. But what I like about this guide is it doesn't just throw the discomfort at you and leave you hanging.
Right?
It actually gives you some tools to deal with it, to navigate those choppy waters.
Okay, so what kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, one of the most powerful ones is positive self-talk.
Positive self-talk.
Yeah, it's about making a conscious choice, picking thoughts and phrases that empower you, that help you reframe those challenges.
So instead of getting stuck in that I can't do this mode.
Exactly. You shift to, I can figure this out. Or even, this is a chance for me to learn and grow.
I love that. It's like giving your brain a pep talk when it starts to go down that rabbit hole.
Totally. And it's not just our own self-talk either. This whole idea of facing discomfort, it plays a big role in our relationships too, which is something else this guide gets into.
Relationships, huh?
Yeah, one of the most interesting points it makes is that even relationships we really value, admire or cherish, they can become sources of tension
Right.
or even discomfort as we change and things around us change.
That's interesting.
This really hit home for me because I had this mentor, someone I looked up to for years.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got more experience, my goals shifted and our dynamic, it just started to feel different. It got harder to connect and there was like friction there.
Oh, I see.
It was tough because I still respected them so much, but the relationship, it wasn't serving me the same way anymore.
That's so relatable.
Right. And it highlights this idea that relationships, they're not static things.
Yeah.
They change, they evolve, which is totally normal.
Yeah, it is.
The key is to approach those shifts with awareness and, healthy ways of coping.
So how does this guide suggest we do that? How do we navigate those shifting dynamics?
Well, it really emphasizes two things: setting boundaries and open communication.
Okay, I'm listening.
Boundary setting, it's about being clear about your needs, your limits, and being able to communicate those.
Assertively.
Exactly, but respectfully too. It's not about putting up walls, but creating space for both people to, thrive.
Right.
And then open communication, being honest, that's vital. When you can express your feelings, your concerns, but in a constructive way, it opens up this opportunity.
To work through things together.
Yeah. Or, if it comes to that, to gracefully move on from a relationship that's not working for either person anymore.
Makes sense.
So it's about being proactive, intentional in those relationships, not just letting things drift and hoping for the best.
I like that.
But what about those really big, unexpected curveballs that life throws at us, the kind that really shake things up?
Oh, yeah. Those
Well, this guide has an incredible visualization for dealing with exactly that.
a visualization.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. This visualization, it's pretty powerful.
Hmm.
You close your eyes and imagine a major life change happening totally out of the blue.
Okay.
Could be anything, really.
Yeah.
Maybe a sudden career shift, an unplanned move to a new city, or some other big thing that throws you completely off course.
Yeah, I'm picturing it. And honestly, it's bringing up some mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Part of me is excited, like the possibility of something new, but there's also this like, whoa, hold on, am I really ready for this?
That's exactly the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Confronting those feelings of uncertainty head on and asking yourself, okay, what would I need to get through this? What resources, what support? The guide then goes on to say, think about your support system, the people you can turn to, the skills you might need to develop, even the mindset you want to have to stay resilient.
So it's not about trying to predict the future, which is impossible, right?
Right.
But about building that inner strength, that flexibility, so you can handle whatever comes your way.
Exactly. It's about cultivating this mindset of readiness, of being open, knowing that the unexpected, it's just part of life.
Right. And one of the key tools for that, it says, is mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Yeah, it seems to be the buzzword these days.
It does, doesn't it?
But how does it actually help us with the unexpected?
Well, it's not just a buzzword, it's a real practice. It helps you stay grounded in the present moment instead of getting swept away by anxiety about the future or dwelling on the past.
Oh, okay.
When you're present, you can see things more clearly, make better decisions.
So staying calm, centered, even when things are chaotic.
Exactly.
But what if things get really tough? I mean, really tough. Is mindfulness enough?
It's definitely a foundation, a starting point. But it's also crucial to remember that reaching out for support is okay, essential, even from friends, family, mentors, even professionals. We don't have to go through tough times alone.
That's so true and so easy to forget.
It is reaching out for help. It's not weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Yeah, we often try to be tough, handle everything ourselves, but there's real power in being vulnerable, asking for help.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's switch gears for a minute. Talk about the other side of those curveballs, the positive ones.
Oh,
The exciting moments, when something great happens.
like what?
Like when you achieve a dream you've been working towards, and it suddenly becomes reality.
You'd think that would be all good, right?
You would, but the guide brings up something really interesting. It says even positive change can be overwhelming.
How so?
Well, there can be unexpected pressure, new responsibilities, or even a sense of imposter syndrome as you step into this new version of yourself.
That makes sense. It's like that saying, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Exactly. But instead of letting those anxieties take over, the guide gives some advice for navigating those positive transitions, too.
Oh, okay, like what?
It talks about the importance of staying grounded, managing your expectations, remembering your core values, your priorities, so you don't get swept away by pressure or lose sight of what truly matters.
Right.
It also reminds us that achieving a goal, it's a process, not just a destination. There will be challenges, adjustments along the way, and that's okay.
So true.
It's about enjoying the journey, embracing the growth that comes with everything, the setbacks and the successes.
I like that.
Now, this next section, it's probably the most thought-provoking of the whole guide, and it's something we don't talk about very often: legacy and mortality.
Whoa. Okay.
It asks this big question: if today were your last day, what impact would you have left behind?
That's a heavy one.
It is. But it's so valuable to think about,
Yeah.
It forces us to confront what really matters. If our time was limited, would we be spending our energy on things that align with our values, our purpose?
I have a question.
This section also introduces the idea of a legacy letter.
A legacy letter.
Yeah, it encourages you to write a letter to yourself, reflecting on your values, the things you've contributed, the love you want to leave as your legacy.
So not a goodbye letter, but more like a roadmap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A roadmap for living a life of meaning, of purpose.
And not just at the end of your life.
Right.
It's a tool you can use now to guide your decisions, your actions. By thinking about your values, the impact you want to make, you can start making choices today that are aligned with that vision. It's about living your legacy, not just leaving one.
Yeah, it's like you're actively creating the impact you want to have, not just leaving it to chance. Which, brings us back to that question from Coach Zebu. Are you ready?
Oh, right, the full quote.
Exactly. I think it's time we reveal the whole thing. Are you ready?
Hit me with it.
All right, here it is. Are you ready to face the unknown with courage, to embrace change with grace, and to live each day as if it were a masterpiece in the making?
Wow. That's a lot to unpack.
Right.
Really powerful.
Right. It really sums up everything we've been talking about, doesn't it?
Right.
Facing discomfort, building resilience, embracing change, living a life of purpose.
Yeah, and not just being ready for the tough stuff,
Right.
but being open to the good things too, the unexpected opportunities and joys that come along.
Exactly. It's like a call to adventure.
I like that.
To step into the unknown with courage, with curiosity, knowing that even if things get messy or hard, there's beauty in the process, there's growth.
Absolutely.
But how do we actually do that? How do we go from just thinking about readiness to actually embodying it?
Well, the guide, it ends with a really practical suggestion, a call to action. It says pick one thing, just one specific thing that you can do this week to prepare for whatever life throws at you.
So taking action, not just absorbing the information.
Exactly.
Oh.
And it doesn't have to be some big, huge thing. It could be small,
Yeah.
like starting a gratitude practice or finally having that tough conversation you've been putting off.
Right, or even just decluttering your workspace to create some calm.
Yeah, anything that gets you moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
The key is to do something. Take that first step.
Because those small steps, they build momentum, they build confidence. Right.
Exactly. Like you're flexing your readiness muscles so that when the bigger challenges come or the bigger opportunities, you're ready for them.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this amazing guide, I want to leave you with one final question. What's your one action this week? What one thing can you do to feel more ready, more prepared for whatever life throws at you?
That's a great question for everyone to think about.
Remember, life's going to have its twists and turns, but if you're prepared, if you're resilient, if you have a little bit of courage, you can face anything.
You really can.
And who knows, you might even surprise yourself with how strong you are, how much you can handle.
That's the best part.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and keep diving deeper.